Quick disclaimer here, trading is very risky and carries a high level of risk. Anything said here is not a financial advice. Make sure you trade with money you can only afford to lose. Stay safe.
What's going on, guys? TRADEWITHWORLDBANK here. It's another beautiful weekend again. If you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, and for those that have been watching so far, make sure you like and share. So today's video is going to be a little bit different because this time around is no longer analysis. Like I said, whatever the suggestion algorithm brings, that we're going to follow. In today's content, we're going to be looking at SMC and retail. Around last year, I was asking a community question. I was like, okay, which one do you guys want, SMC or retail, or SMC versus retail? And then most people voted for SMC versus retail. So we're going to be going with the population of those that voted for SMC versus retail. It can be SMC versus retail or retail versus SMC, whichever one. Just stay tuned, guys. As you all know, SMC means smart money concept, and retail is the normal trend line, support and resistance, not smart money concept. But retail is what we believe or perceive to have brought about smart money concepts. Why? Because of the fact that it brings about liquidity, it brings about fake breakouts, it brings about fake movements in the market, and people don't always want to get trapped or get their stop loss haunted by retail moves using smart money concepts. That is why most people are always switching to smart money concepts. But then let's still see, is retail worth it? Is retail true? Does it work? That is the purpose of this video. We want to be seeing if it works, if it is true, and then it's going to be like a series because we'll be analyzing with retail, normal support and resistance, divergence, breakouts and retests. Then we're going to be making use of SMC also, using the same pair, and we'll be looking at it together. Now on GBP-CHF, that is the pair we're going to be using. We're going to be using just GBP-CHF because since last month I've been journaling this pair, GBP-CHF. As you can see, let's go back in time. You can see I've used a lot of smart money movements over here, and then when we started this year, let me check so far. Okay, we have November 14, 2022, and let me start from here. So December 18, 2022, that's when I started observing this pair, GBP-CHF, and it has been playing out well with retail analysis. So let's see if retail still works. If it's still worth it, by the end of this series, it's going to be a very long series too, but by the end of the series, we are going to know, should you still be trading retail, or it's just how do I put it, it's just all lies. It's just people want to bring the hype about smart money concepts. Yeah, this is how we are going to be doing it. First things first, we are not going to be trading these live. As you can see, I don't trade GBP-CHF, by the way. I only trade AUD-USD, gold, and AUD-JPY. But on this pair, for the purpose of this video or the series, this is where we are going to do it. We're going to analyze first things first. Then we are just going to check the prediction. Okay, we're expecting it to go up, or we're expecting it to come down for the next week. And the analysis and prediction is just going to be predictions. We're not going to be using any form of entry, just predictions. Let's say like this, I have my support zone over there, and then I have my support trend line over there. That is one, this is one conference, this are two conferences right now, and that is what I'll be doing. Okay, so it's not going to be like we're going to be waiting for entry, we're going to be monitoring the market. It's going to be more like day and swing kind of settings. I believe you guys understand. So before we move in, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications so you can get notified whenever I drop content like this. Let's get started. As you all know, I trade SMC. I have moved from retail to SMC due to some reasons. So that is why I'll be using GBP-CHF, and I'll be analyzing with SMC first. So what are the things you want to do when you want to analyze? First things first, you can see this is the weekly time frame. On this weekly time frame here, we have a small range over here, creating liquidity, right? Because above and below every range, there's liquidity above, there's liquidity below. In the presence of that, we know that once there is a supply zone above liquidity, that is a good confluence, and once there is a supply zone, demand zone below liquidity, something like this is a good confluence. But this is not a demand zone. Why is this not a demand zone? Because there is a break of structure. So there is no break of structure, and once there is no break of structure, the demand zone is not valid. But right now you can see the supply zone has even been mitigated over here, but that still doesn't mean it can still tap more into the supply zone, probably 50%, 75%, or even 100%, right? So that is really not a big issue. Let's just use the week. As you all know, Rajabanks will say the weeks don't lie. Yeah, that is true. If you want to know how to refine with weeks, just go to my YouTube shorts. You're going to get a lot of content for that. Now, this is GBPCHF using smart money analysis. We have liquidity, we have a little range here, and that range has created liquidity. That is on the weekly time frame. Moving to the daily time frame, it should almost be the same thing, as you can see, just that the weekly is a bigger representation of the daily, and now still the same thing, as you can see. Let's move to the 4-hour time frame. After the 4-hour time frame, then you can stop there or move to the 1-hour time frame. So this is the 4-hour time frame. Okay, remember liquidity is created and the trend is a downtrend. You can see the trend is a downtrend. That is why I have drawn out my supply. If it was an uptrend or an uptrend, I would have drawn out a demand looking for buying opportunities. But now there's no change of character yet. If there's a change of character, I would have, love to draw that out and the likes. Now let's go back to our 4-hour time frame. Remember, it's a downtrend, and then where are we targeting? We are targeting this extreme demand zone over here. Sorry, extreme supply zone over here. Now, if you are targeting an extreme supply zone, what do you want to target again? You also want to look for counter trend buying opportunities to go into the supply zone, because you are looking for selling opportunities on the supply zone. So that means the counter trend buys are just going to be short-term buys, not day trading buys or swing trading buys. As you can see, this is a valid demand zone. There is a break of structure to the left from here. There's a break of structure that is making it a valid demand zone. And now we have another demand zone over here on the 4-hour time frame, but I don't like this zone. It's just too wide. Then I move to the 1-hour time frame to refine it well, like this. Yeah, so we have a good zone over here. Then this is my analysis on GBP CHF for SMC. SMC is not so frustrating like that. Then where are we going to target? Remember, we are meant to target the daily supply zone at the top, at the extreme zone. But like I said, the buys are just counter trend buys, and we have to look for short buying opportunities. And as it goes up, you expect more movement to the upside. You look for your demand zones, and then you are good to go. That is what I'm expecting on GBP CHF for this first demand zone. Now, looking at this second demand zone over here, we have a lot has happened here. You can see there is liquidity here. Liquidity is created already. Liquidity is created. Now we have this extreme demand zone. So we have a lot of demand zones here. I'll only be working with the 4-hour time frame, because if we were to draw out all the demand zones here, you can see we have a demand zone here, we have a demand zone here, and then we have a demand zone here again. So this is a little bit confusing, and you might not know the demand zone to trade off from. But since we're coming out from the 4-hour time frame, we should not have issues with identifying all the supply zones. Then that's all the demand zones. Then the last demand zone I can draw here be this one here, this demand zone over here, and we can then refine it on the 1-hour time frame. Okay, since the trend is a very strong downtrend, it might want to pull back into this demand, this extreme demand. So we have one demand, second demand, and third demand. Now these are, but I love this second demand. Why do I love the second demand? Because now we have more confidence over here. There's liquidity, and we have the demand zone. There's imbalance here too. But let's use Fibonacci first of all. Let's use Fibonacci to check for more accuracy. So Yeah, so where is the zone below 0.5? We have this demand zone I'm anticipating, and then the other demand zone I'm anticipating. But you can see this other demand zone is not so well balanced on Fibonacci compared to this 0.618. We might get the retracement further into this extreme demand zone before we move to the upside. But then let's see how it's going to play out. Then these are my expectations. As you can see now, retail is not really, SMC is not really problematic once you've gotten the trick of the analysis. And as you can see, you have your risk to reward. I've created shorts on that, and I'm still creating shorts on what's it called, on the risk to reward, consistency, and your trading plan. So stay tuned for that. Also make sure you turn on your notifications so you can get updates on those. This is what I'm expecting on GBP for next week. Okay, this might not be up to next week, but once it starts playing out, I'm going to drop a video. Once every analysis plays out, I'm going to drop a video. You know, we have to confirm, is SMC worth the hype? Is retail really invalid? You understand? So we have to check for all those. This is SMC analysis. This is a good demand zone, and then we can expect more movements to the upside from these demand zones. Okay, then let's see. Let's now move to the retail parts. Same thing. We have weekly time frame. The trending markets. Let me draw the daily time frame. I don't want to repeat myself. I just want to analyze straightforward, and we are good to go. Now, the only problem about retail is you have to draw a lot of lines for confluences, because you all know that just one trend line, or because you've drawn a single trend line or rectangle, to markets will start reacting from that. No, that's not possible. Let me delete some old tools I have here, and now let's just analyze the 4-hour time frame from here. Let me delete that. Let me delete this and this. Okay, let me start from here. Yeah, this is a clear picture of what we should be expecting next week. First things first, what do you want to draw out? For a retail trader, you want to draw out your support and resistance. Where is the support here? Where is the resistance? This has always been a very big problem for retail traders, because they're always confused, like, where do I draw my support? Where do I draw my resistance? Build this and that, blah, blah, blah. This is a high, right? This is a high. This is a previous high that has created a low. That is a resistance. You can call that resistance, because it is a previous high that has created a low, and then you can anticipate more sales from there. Now, what am I expecting on the daily time frame or on the weekly time frame? It is bearish, so we just want to look for sales. That is all. We don't know about liquidity. We don't know about break of structure. We don't know about imbalance and inducement. So over here, we just want to look for trend analysis and follow the trend. So moving back to the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, we've seen our resistance. This, you can call this liquidity grab on retail, on SMC, but this is retail, so let's just follow it. You can see there's a breakout, there's a fake breakout, but then the supply zone, sorry, the resistance is still very active. Okay, where is the support? Where is the support zone? You can see we have a nice support zone from here. Now we can then move to 1-hour time frame again, or instead of drawing that from far back, you can just draw it out here. Yes, this is a nice resistance. It's a nice resistance that I'm looking for over here. Now for next week, let's go back again. This is a trend line, as you can see. That is a trend line over there, and for sales here, I'll be expecting price to react from here. We're expecting price to react from here and then sell off. Okay, now we have a demand zone over here, so sorry, we have a support zone over here, and using trend line over here too. Now this buy, you can look for buying opportunities here on this line, exactly on this line. This buy is more like a counter trend buy that would push us into this selling region. Okay, now what about the short-term movement or inside movement? I've drawn out my expectation for the week, but it might not immediately go there and react like that. So still have some inner structures that we can still follow. Like this, we have this resistance here, and your resistance zone should not be too wide, just make it small. Now over here there's a breakout here, and this might be a retest or a fake breakout, depends on the candle close. Candle close has closed outside, signifying a breakout. Now it's trying to retest, but then it's still in between. Market has not opened yet, market is closed now, so we really can't decide. But during London session, let's see what's going to happen. But remember, this sell here is a good zone for sell. Resistance there is a good zone for a sell. And which other confluence can we add? Because we can't just say we are going to sell off from here because we have a resistance here. That is something you should know about retail. You should have at least 2 confluences conjuring up to give you that confidence that this thing is going to play out well. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame to see the bigger structure again. Okay, then what I'm going to be expecting why price is moving to give us confidence for the sell, because price might not exactly come to this point of interest. Now why price is going up over here, probably now there's a lot of things that's going to happen. There is high probability it comes here and drops off. There's high probability of a retest over here and drops here. So once it drops here, we already know what we are going to do. But for this, it might want to move up like this into that supply zone, right? Once it moves up to that supply zone, we are going to make use of divergence like this, and then we look for selling opportunity over there. So that is the confirmation. Now you can see everything is still pointing down to sell. There is a resistance here, there's a break of structure here, resistance, breakout, and retests for this, and divergence again. So we have a lot of confluence for selling on this resistance. Okay, now what should we be expecting again? There's a lot of things that can happen. If it comes here, we know we want to buy. If it breaks out from here, then there's high probability it continues to sell because of the free traffic. You can call this more like a clean traffic to the left. There's no much strong zone of resistance and support over there. Then if it breaks out to the upside like this, when there's a breakout, then we would love to wait for a retest and we'll buy. Okay, that is what I'll be expecting on this resistance zone becoming support. That is it on GBP/CHF retail analysis. Yeah, the only reason I'm using GBP/CHF is because if we say we should use other pairs to compare it, it might not be so nice and there's going to be confusion. But when we focus on just one pair, using the same strategy on both pairs, it's going to be more reasonable and we can be able to tell if some things are true or not. Now you can see the difference. Now retail is showing more like selling pressure, but now we have the SMC, demand and supply, showing buying opportunities, while retail is showing selling opportunities. So let's see which is going to play out. Okay, like I told you, if there is a breakout, we expect more sales. If there is a breakout to the upside, we expect more buys. But inside this range, this is what I'm expecting to hit this resistance zone over there, hit this resistance and drop off. That is what I'm expecting. Why am I expecting that? Because now we've added more confluences to the analysis. Can we use Fibonacci here? We really can't use Fibonacci here because it's more like a range. As you can see, this is a ranging market, but then let's move to the Fibonacci and see. You can see we have 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. So there is nothing much, only if you want to draw it from behind. Like this or this. Yeah, but you can see it's still pointing down to this price trap over here. I feel like this is a trap because the range is just too much. But then let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. We already know what we're expecting. I think that'll be all for now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you share, smash that like button, and make sure to subscribe. After you subscribe, turn on notifications so you can get notified whenever other videos are dropped. If you need any questions, chat me up. Link in description. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.